likes cheese.
He likes macaroni and he likes cheese. Okay, this time, are you ready? Cheese, tell macaroni why you
Don't like Oh, I have some. Just wait, just wait.
Ready, Rich? Red light. Good job, guys. Okay, before we start our lesson, we are going to do, this will be our last addition sprint. Our last one. So, what are some things we need to do when we have our addition sprint? What do we need to do, Brody?
We need to look at minus or subtraction.
Right, we need to make sure we know the sign, right? What else?
We have to try to solve the equation.
Yes, you have to try to solve those equations. What else?
You should really look at the equation because it might have a minus or a plus.
Yes, you always want to make sure, look to see if it has that minus or that plus. Now, breathe. Do you really slow? We do?
No.
What do you think? No, what do we do?
We go fast.
We go really fast. We want to try to get in as many as possible. So do you need to keep your stamina up?
Yes.
You do. You're right. You need to keep that stamina up. So what I want you to do, you will get your paper, turn it over. Do we worry about our name yet?
No.
No. Once you have your paper, can you go find a good spot in the room?
Why are we
Markers for afterwards. Just keep the marker on the table. Good question. Once you have your paper, go find a good spot. Can I give you yours, Corey? Sorry.
Do you want to do it with your headphones? But let me try.
You should.
Don't worry about it. You're just going to start. Okay? Is that all right?
You only have to do one line. Is that okay? You want your headphones? That's fine.
You want good headphones? Do you feel better? There.
Does that make you feel better?
Yep.
Okay.
If we go off, we'll get it.
So when it comes over here,
It looks like Gracie is ready. It looks like Corey is ready. Morgan is ready. We are starting in 15 seconds. So remember, just try to do your best. Try to do as many as you can. Use that self-talk. Think about what can I do to keep my concentration. We get 2 minutes to try to get as many done as we can. Go. Most of you got to the second row. A lot of you got done with that first row. A lot of you did a nice job today. Way to end. Give yourself a whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Go ahead and put it in the pink tote, please, and bring your marker boards back to the tables because we will need them. Good job. Don't forget your name.
So damn close. So.
You need to use it as a tool. Ansley's ready to go. Coulter's ready to go.
okay, then you need something to find it.
Oh, not even squeaks. Not even squeaks.
Oh, okay. All right.
First time I heard it.
Okay, James, are you ready? Focus attention. Remember, when I have that focus attention, where does your markers go? Down.
Think you're here?
Put it down and push it up. Even if that lid falls to the ground, what do we do?
Leave it.
Leave it. Even if our marker is open, what do we do?
Leave it.
Leave it. Okay, so whenever I say red light, okay, so go ahead and put those markers in your hand real quick. Red light. Focus attention. Excellent job. Now I have a problem today. I'm going to read it out loud. Okay, I'm going to read it out loud first, and then I'm going to have you read it to a neighbor. Can everybody see it?
No, I can't.
Can you not see it? Let me see if I can't make it bigger. You know what I have? I think I have a paper one that maybe we can see and I can blow it up a little bit more. Would that be okay? I'll just unplug my computer because it's hard to see, isn't it? Thank you for waiting so patiently. Yep, I'll blow it up. Now you'll notice, we have a picture too to help you. It says, there are blank children at the library. Blank are girls, and the rest are boys. Then blank more boys come to the library. How many boys are at the library now? Macaronis, raise your hand. Macaronis, I want you to read it to cheese. Go. Marty, Chris, when you're done. Red light. Okay. Now I need my cheeses to tell my macaronis. Read it to them. Go.
There are blank children at the library.
Red light. Okay. Now, I know some of us have a hard time, especially me, if it's really noisy in here, really to think about it. So I'm going to give 30 seconds here for you guys just to look at the problem and think about it. Give me a thumbs up over your heart if you're ready. Looks like everybody's ready. Go ahead and push yourselves in real quick. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to have my cheeses tell my macaronis what is happening in this story. Go. What happened there? There's children, right? Then it says blank are girls. What happened there?
What's the question?
Is there any boys? The rest are boys, right? So, what happened there?
But she came up with
Marty, Chris, when you're done. Red light. So I had cheeses tell macaroni. Macaronis. Is there anybody like to share what your macaroni partner said? Christopher.
There are some children at the library, some are girls and the rest are boys, and then some more boys join. how many is the library? How many children are in the library now?
Okay, so they said there were some more boys at the end, right? What else? Let's have anybody else. Bree, what did your partner say?
She said,
Nice and loud. Tell everybody, focus attention.
focus attention.
So tell them, look at them.
Ava said that that goes some goals and some boys, but some more boys don't. Hey.
Good, very good. So some more boys. Peyton, excellent. All right, Peyton, you want to do one more? We'll do one more. Peyton, what's your partner say?
I don't know how many girls or boys are in the
So you don't know how many girls or boys. This time I want macaronis to tell cheeses what happened in the story. Go.
There are a lot of children at the library. Like there are some children and there's a lot more boys. We don't know there's children at the library. We don't know how some of them
Learning Bridge. And red light. Someone tell me what a cheese said. A macaroni.
Cheese.
Is that right? Macaroni tells, it needs to tell me what a cheese said.
No, macaroni cheese said
Oh, good thing I have you guys here to keep me in line. Kayla, what happened?
that there are some girls and boys in the library.
There's some girls and boys in the library. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. What else?
We don't know how many boys came to the library.
You don't know how many boys came to the library. Xavier, do you have anything to add? Nothing to add? Okay. Now, remember we've been talking about our U, R, S, and C. What did we just do? Understand. We are understanding what is going on in this problem. Do we understand that there's girls?
Yes.
Do we understand there's boys?
Yes.
And we understand that they're where? They're in the library. And we understand at the end what happened. More boys. Listen to that word. More boys. I'm going to give you some numbers. Is that okay? Okay. Here are my numbers. Okay. There are 26 children at the library. 12 are girls, and the rest are boys. Then 7 more boys come to the library. How many boys are at the library now? Now, after we have the U, do you remember what we have? Represent. Are we here yet?
No.
No. We have to represent. When we represent, I want you to look. We have compare. We have put together, take apart. We have take from. We have add to. I want you to take these numbers and I want you to represent them. How would you represent it? Go ahead and go. Yes. Okay. Smart. Represent it. Represent it. Show me. Super smart.
You want to talk to your partner? How would you
Represent it.
Oh, I think I made this a little bit too big.
I already know the answer, actually.
So we have
Oh,
26 what?
It just won't be right.
Label it. Put a C by it.
Because it's hard.
Okay, what's this? Yeah. What are you going to do with these numbers? I know something you're really smart at. You're really smart at math numbers. See if you can put that number in a message. And I want you to think about there are 26 children per county. See if you can represent that in that county.
Are you going to add or subtract?
Okay. Now remember what goes on each side of that. And then what goes down here. Now, look at these numbers.
That should be it.
Don't solve it. I do not have to. Don't solve it.
Red light. Ava, you just said something so smart like a mathematician. And I did this to you the other day, didn't I? You said something about, can I whisper it in your ear and you can tell everybody? You just said this. What did you just say? Did you hear what she said? Turn and tell them.
It's a two-step problem.
It's a two-step problem. What? So is our representing, can we really represent the second part yet? So we're going to represent that first part. Go ahead and do it again. See if you can figure this out. Don't solve. Are we at solve? No, I don't want to see any answers yet.
Minus from 12 from 12 is the first one we can, but it's another way of doing it. It's another way of doing it. So 26 is
Yes, you were right.
We are realistic. I know, but you're acting hard.
Remember?
To get a bigger steps are there. Do you want
Okay, put it back on there. Put it back on there. There are 26 children. Okay, how many children do you have? How many of them are? How many are girls?
26.
There are 26 children. Okay, now, do we know how many of them are boys? We don't? Well, you know. Listen to this though. Okay, so what are you going to do? Then,
Do we solve something?
we're not solving yet. So I want you to think about that for a little bit. I'll get back to checking. You don't have to solve it yet. Just show me what you're going to do. Now, what are you going to do with 26 and 12? Why are you going to add?
It doesn't make sense.
That makes sense.
Why are you going to subtract?
I 26 minus 12 would equal this number, but then you could add that number with it.
26 children, like 12 are girls and the rest are boys. Why did you subtract these?
I already know the answer.
Oh, so that's really
Hey, red light. First of all, give yourself some math sparkles. Whoa, some amazing mathematicians in this class. Amazing. All right, I'm going to have a few friends come and show me what they represent. There are is. Ari, would you bring yours up for me? I want you to talk about what yours is. Okay, I'm going to erase this real quick, and you can set it right on top. Is that okay? I have to remember what numbers I had.
12, 26.
All right. Talk about what you did here.
I did a math mountain. Why? Because
What did you know?
you can't get a bigger number than you already have.
Say that nice and loud.
Because you can't get a bigger number than you already have.
You can't have a bigger number than you already have. You already know that total. You do. You know how many kids? 26. Super smart. Now, what's this number represent?
How many girls?
How many girls there is? And what does this box mean?
That means we don't know how many boys.
You don't know how many boys. So how did you get this equation out of this?
Because you plus this, and then you put the minus on the side. So if you plus it, and then you minus it.
So yours
Because it's a two-step problem.
is a two-step problem. Now, I noticed you put something here. What does that tell you?
Minus.
These tell you right here, minus. Just like here. So what are you going to do with these numbers?
Minus
26 minus 12. Look what you did. Give her a whoop whoop. Excellent job. Nice job, Ari. I would like Kayla. Come on up. Ooh, we might have to. There we go. Okay, tell me what you did.
I did 26 minus 12, and you would have what you would equal, and you would bring it up here and add it with 7. And then down here, I did 26 minus 12, and it would equal the unknown. But once you have the unknown number, you would add it with 7, and then you would have that number. You would put it in.
So you've already represented both steps. Okay, now real quick, I gotta go back a little bit because I'm a little confused I kind of forgot what these numbers even mean. Can you help me remember what these numbers mean? What does this number mean? How many kids there are in all? What is this? How many girls? Now why would you minus that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking why.
I know why.
It's a two-step problem.
I know why.
Maybe call on someone, see if they can help you with this. Because you can't get a bigger number than that 26 because we have our total, right? Yeah, and you knew that. It's just hard to come out with some of those words. That's why our friends help us in our classroom. So 26 minus 12, which was what? What's this number represent? How many girls? Okay. And then you said you take this total, and why do you have an arrow here?
Because it shows you where you need to put the big number.
It shows you where you need to put this bigger number. You're gonna put it up there, right? Okay. And then
Going to add it with 7.
you're gonna add it with 7. Smart thinking, good representation. I saw some other great things. I also saw some comparison bars. I saw people that were just doing part 1, and now they need to work on part 2. Here's what I want you to do before we solve it, before we get to the S. Cheeses, show your macaroni what you did.
So you're going to share the number So I did this.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What would the labels be here? What's this?
That's children and all, and that would be girls, and then down here would be
Morning,
the
Rich.
boys. And then that would be how much boys comment, and then that would be how much boys are in the library total.
All right, well, thank you for telling me the labels.
Red light? Pretty good thinking of our macaronis, isn't it? Give your macaronis a high five.
I thought it was cheese.
Oh, cheeses. Ah! Give your cheeses a high five. Okay, this time my macaroni is going to tell the cheese. Go ahead and show them, Rebecca. Show what your representation is.
I did not have
Xavier, can I ask you a question?
Plus 7. 12 Thursday.
What is this? What's the label for this one? Do you know what the label for that is?
You can't plus this because
What would this label be up here, this 26?
that's how many children you have in all.
Oh, how many children in all? What was this label here?
That's how many girls.
Oh, okay. And so our answer here would be what? What's the label for that one?
14 because 6 minus 2 is there. 2 minus 1. 1.
So 14, what's the label on that? 14 what?
14 and this I know. So then you carry it up here.
Oh, okay. What do you know here? Hang on just a second. Let's see what Xavier knows.
I know the answer.
Well, don't tell me the answer, but what would the answer is, what's the label on the answer?
I mean, what is the answer?
Yeah.
21.
21 what?
Children.
Red light. Give your partner a high five. Great. Here's what I noticed. Smart mathematicians too. Smart mathematicians have math talk. And they talk about how they are representing. And now, guess what we're going to do? Solve. We're going to solve. Now, mathematicians also do math talk after solving. Go ahead and see if you can solve this problem. That S.
Corey, does your marker work? Is that why you were exchanging with Xavier? Oh, okay.
21. Sorry, you must have counted the 6. I counted wrong. Yeah, that's so bad. No, you don't put the 1 in 7. You don't put the 1 in 7. Yeah, it's 100. Yeah, because we already have it. What was on here? What? How would you get 2 if you just children or boys?
It said how many
Can I ask a question? What's the label here? 26 what?
Children.
12 what?
Girls. And that's how many.
Okay.
And then I put how many boys are up here. And then
Okay.
more boys come
So you got 14.
and then I got this one.
21 what?
21.
Now add them together.
21 in all. What's the label on there? Hmm? Is it boys? I think you're right with boys, but tell me why you know that that's boys.
And a 1 up. Oh, no.
What was this?
A 1 up there.
Boys.
What was this?
So now you have 21 what? 22.
So this is
21.
Boys.
No, just 4 plus 7. What did David and Brittany, did you label? Did you label your answer?
We have to label?
Yep. Because we don't know what we're what. Now here you go.
It actually would be a 3-step problem. Well, it could be.
Tell me more.
Because if you add 21 plus 12, it would be higher than this.
Oh, you could find out something else. You could add to that problem. It's pretty stinking smart.
So how many boys are there? How many boys are in the library? Red light. Hey, Xavier, would you come up and show us what you did? Report. up there. Okay, turn to your audience. Say focus attention. Okay, what did you do? What's the first thing you did here? We knew, when we talked about it, we represented the 26. That was our total. And we had 12 girls, but what'd you do? You turn to your people, turn to your people and tell them. Minus. He subtracted, and what did you get for an answer? 14. What did you do with that 14, Xavier?
What did that 14 represent? That was 14 what? What? Oh, 14 boys. Okay.
14 boys, that's right, 14 boys. Now, what do you do with that 14 boys?
This one put them over on the other one, and then 12, 14 with 7.
Why did you do 7?
That was our number.
That was our other number. So can I just pick a number? What was it? What did it represent though? It represent girls? What did it represent? Boys. Turn to your audience and tell them that. Just say boys. Boys. Okay, then what did you do with these two numbers?
Added them.
What a nice, you know what, you are so brave up here. You're doing an awesome job. What was your answer then?
21.
What is this here?
Boys.
Boys. Listen to what he has.
Labels.
He said it was 21 boys. Now, Xavier, can I leave that up here for a second? Let's check for understanding real quick. Now, we knew that the total was what? 26. Check for reasonableness. Could we have, if I would have added this, would it have been reasonable to have a bigger number than 26? No. So you always have to check for if it is reasonable. Right, we always have to check. And sometimes even those math mountains help us to visualize if that number below is bigger than the top one. Is it okay? No, so we got to check for that reasonableness, okay? And then we had this and we added to ours and we got the number of 21. Go ahead and give your partner a jazz fingers to your neighbor if they did an awesome job. So sparkles.
Lights up there.
Go ahead and erase this board. Xavier, thank you so much for coming up. High five all the way around. Okay, friends, here's our Okay, friends. Peyton has blank balloons. Allie has blank more balloons than Peyton. Christopher has blank fewer balloons than Allie. How many balloons does Christopher have?
Okay, I want macaroni. To turn to your cheese partner and whisper read that problem. Okay, learning bridge. Oh, I see some friends already have a learning bridge there already. Okay, now I want the cheese partners to turn to their macaroni friends and whisper.
I can't turn to you.
Use the
Okay, friends. Now that we've read it 3 times, we now need to make sure that we still understand it. So I want Macaroni to turn to Cheese and tell them, what do we know? What do we know?
No, that's not what it might be.
Red light. Red light. Oh, wow. Thanks, Taylor. Following her. She's right. All right, you were quick. Okay, so I asked Macaroni to tell Cheese, what do we know? Cheese, GTA, and tell me, what do we know? What did your friends share with you? What do we know about this problem? What did your friends just tell you? What do we know? What do we know? Ellen? Christopher has fewer balloons than Ellen. What else do we know?
We know that Peyton has balloons, and Allie has like more balloons than Peyton, but Christopher has fewer balloons.
Okay, anything else that we know? They all have balloons, you're right. Okay, as I read through this, I'm starting to try and think and understand, there's a lot of information. There was a lot of people in this story. And from our last problem, I'm already starting to think, what did you just say, Peyton?
Two-step problem.
It's a two-step problem. So he's already thought about that it's a two-step problem. Peyton has some balloons. Allie has some more balloons than Peyton. Christopher has fewer balloons than Allie. How many balloons does Christopher have? Okay, friends, I am going to give you, I'm going to put up some numbers. We're not going to solve yet. I just want you to stop and think. We're going to represent. Stop and think. How are we going to represent? Are you going to compare? Put together, take apart? Take from. So think of how you're going to represent this number. Okay, Peyton has 17 balloons. And Allie has 9 more. I didn't even realize I picked table partners. And Christopher has 12 fewer balloons than Allie. How many balloons does Christopher have? Okay, go ahead and represent on your marker board how you're going to solve this problem.
What'd you say? That's the true one.
That's the true one. Fewer and more.
Okay, so how are you going to solve that? Okay, Konen, stop and think. Peyton has 17 balloons. Allie has 9 more balloons. So what do we know? We know what?
Say subtract
Peyton has 17.
Addition.
Does it say Allie has 9? She's 9 more. So do we know how many she has yet? No, so what are we going to do? If Peyton has 17, we gotta figure out how many Allie has. So if Peyton has 17, and Allie has 9 more. So what are you going to do? Peyton has 17. What does that mean? Remember whenever we have more or less? Remember where that goes? What number does that? Look up here. What does it say? Okay, so what do we do?
Is that put forward?
Mrs. Fox.
Oh, I see some really smart mathematicians. I see some people already putting labels on theirs, Mrs. Konen. A P for Peyton.
Yes.
An A for Allie.
I just love how there's different ways to solve this and how they're thinking like mathematicians.
Very smart. Okay. Red light. I think most of you. Okay, Ava's going to show us one way she represented this. Ava, tell us what you did.
I put 17, which is the biggest number, and then plus 9.
Why did you add plus 9?
Because it won't be a bigger number than 17.
It won't be a bigger number than 17? If you're adding 9 more, it will be a bigger number than 17? Okay, so what's 17? 17 is what? What did 17 represent? 17 what? Balloons that who has? Peyton. So will you put a P next to that 17 so that way I know? Okay, so she's putting a P, so that represents Peyton. So Peyton has 17. And why did you add 9 more?
Because it said I have 9 more, and that's the
Okay, so it used the word more. And then, can I just slide this up? I saw you do a compare bar, a comparison bar. Tell me what you did there.
I put an A for Allie, and a P for Peyton, and I put 17. But Allie has more than Peyton, so I put a 9 and N for more.
How did you know Allie went on the top comparison bar?
Because she had more than everybody.
Oh, she had the most, so her name went on top. And then Peyton went underneath. And why did you put 9 in the circle?
Because whenever it's 9 more or less, that's when it's the number good.
Super. I want you to sprinkle and say, ooh la la. Good job.
That was really good.
Grace, why don't you come on up? Gracie, sorry. Nope, just leave yours there. Yep, you don't have to put a comparison bar. If you don't have what Ava had, that's okay. Just bring what you have up. Okay, so Gracie went a little bit further. And Gracie, tell us what you did right up here.
I put the 17.
Can you turn around and tell your friends?
I put the 17 on top because it had be a bigger number than 17.
Okay, and then I see this. What's this?
It shows you that there's going to be a bigger number than 17.
Okay, then why did you draw the arrow? From here to up here. child, why did you start right here? Because 17 is how many who had? And 9, Allie had 9 more. So the total is going to give you how many who has? Yeah, because Peyton has 17, 9 more. So that's going to give you whose total? Allie. And then you're going to take what? Allie's what? Okay, so then you're ready. So she's already starting to solve the step 2 problem. So she's going to take how many Allie has, and it says up here, Christopher has 12 fewer balloons than Allie. So you're going to take Allie's total, and Christopher has fewer. Why did you say subtract? Why did you say you were going to subtract there? Was there a key word in there that made you think, oh, I'm going to subtract that number? Ooh, this word, fewer. So there were 12 fewer balloons. And Allie, what's the total going to give you? You can ask a friend if you want. Does any friends know? Anyone want to help her out? What's the total going to give you? The answer of what? What are we trying to figure out? So it's going to tell you how many balloons Christopher has. Okay, smart. Okay, so we understood it. We're representing it. What comes next? Solve. Go ahead, friends, and solve your answer. Thanks, Gracie.
6 equals
6, and your 1 goes where does your 1 go on 16? Where's your 1 go?
I said 12.
Add your 10.
Here, start with 9. The reason why I put this up here is because if you put it down here, it's not reasonable.
True.
Because this is up. 26 is higher than 12.
True. Can you give me the labels in places? Because that, I think for me, that really shows me like that you understood the problem. 14 balloons. Who has 14 balloons? You don't know? Will you look at the problem up there and see if you can figure out?
This one.
Who?
Christopher.
He does. How do you know that?
Because we're trying to find how many Christopher has.
Oh, so how many Christopher has? What was this label?
Because it gave us, we already knew that Peyton has 17 balloons.
Oh, so what label could go there so that I would understand your answer?
Oh, I forgot to put
Okay.
Peyton has
Oh, so okay. I like it. I like it. Can you label that?
Allie has 26 balloons.
Okay.
We have to figure out how many balloons.
And then,
Allie has 9 more balloons.
so what would the label be there?
Christopher.
So Allie has 26
Oh,
balloons.
okay.
Then Allie. How many does Allie have?
And then we
But I
knew,
carried the number
How
over
many does Allie have?
here.
and you knew, I heard you say it couldn't, it had to
It
be,
would,
She has how
26
many?
would have to be on the top
Yeah, she has
because
26 now.
if it wasn't, it wouldn't be reasonable.
Fewer. So what are you going to do?
whose total was this? I forget.
12 fewer. Which is fewer.
Anybody? Who had 17?
I'm already solving. Peyton had 17.
Oh, so what would be the label there? To help Mrs. Resnick know who this was? What could you put around there? Just so I know when I look at your problem. Thank you. Oh, and
Fewer.
who had 26?
Because my balloons.
Okay.
Because
You added 9 more balloons, but what was this? Whose was that? Oh, okay. Cool. And then, who had 14 balloons?
Hey, I want red light. We're not done yet. That's okay. I think I walked around and I saw almost everyone was getting close. I want macaroni to turn and tell their friend cheeses how you solved this problem. How you solved this.
I solved it by I solved it by adding 9 to 17. And then I got 26. Then 26 minus
I was explaining to you here. Explain it.
I added 7.
There's some gold nuts so I think.
What does this P and A stand for?
Okay, Learning Bridge, when you have it. Oh, Christopher, his group has it. Learning Bridge, when you're done talking to your neighbor. Oh, you're not? No. I see 1, 2, 3.
I want you to know something. I want you to look at those numbers one more time.
Okay, friends, now I want cheeses to tell macaroni how they solve the problem.
Ready?
I added 9 to 17 and I got 8. This is Alice and this is 14.
That's a big C.
Okay, so you're telling
Brody.
So what are your labels here? Just out of curiosity. Who 14 balloons belongs to who? Christopher? Oh.
I put Christopher.
You know, if I were looking at that, it would be helpful because I'm looking at the problem that I would know who these belong to. You know, like those are, I put a C or something there. I think it helps your person that's reading your problem. Who had, just out of curiosity, who had 17?
Red light. Christopher, will you bring yours up here for a minute? Friends, I've heard a lot of good things that mathematicians, lots of great labels and things that say, oh, Peyton had this and Allie had some more. And then Allie had this answer and then Christopher had some fewer. So yeah, I brought Christopher up here. I saw something smart that Christopher did because there were so many numbers and there were so many people that I was getting confused. Oh, red light. Gracie, red light. That I was getting confused. And so Christopher did something smart that mathematicians do. He added some labels. So you can see he put a P there. Why did you put a P there? Okay, so that way he would remember that that was Peyton's. And then you put what? Okay, and so he added Peyton's and Allie's because Allie had some more. And then you took the answer here. You drew an arrow, and then you wrote what? Okay, you wrote Peyton and Allie. But what was this total right here? It was 26, but this was Peyton. Allie had 9 more. So what was her answer? How many total balloons does Allie have? Peyton has 17. Allie has 9 more. So how many would Allie have? Oh, so she would have 26. So is this also Peyton's number, or is it just Allie's? It's just Allie's. Because we already know Peyton has 17. He didn't get any more. So Allie has 26. So here he carried Allie's number over here. You want to erase the P? Let's erase the P on there. So then we know it's just Allie has 26 now. And then why did you subtract 12?
Because it's a fewer. Allie has Christopher has fewer balloons than Allie.
Okay, so then you got the answer. You subtracted because it said fewer, that key word that we talked about. Now 14. Whose balloons are these? Christopher's. I love that. Will you add C for Christopher so that way we know? Because there's so many names, it's so easy to get confused. We had fewer, yep, and then 14 is how many who had? Right, Christopher had. Smart. Thanks, Christopher. You had 14 balloons, so you can take it back. Great, great work, friends. Go ahead and erase your boards. We are running late on time. So, we're going to divide you into groups. Now, you are going to solve your own problem. And you're going to keep your marker board. We're going to have you grab a pencil, and then we're going to have you team up with one of us, teachers, and you are going to go to another area, and we have a story problem that you're going to complete all on your own. We are looking that you are using one of these methods: compare, put together, take apart, take from, add to, show your work and your labels. Things that smart mathematicians do.
Make sure that you have the marker board in your hand and a pencil. Those are the only two things you need right now. Marker board and pencil. All right, here's who I need. Dylan, Cade, Ari, Bree, and Corey. Would you meet at the table, please? Up here in the front with Miss First, I need Allie, Brody, Evelyn, Peyton, Kayla, Christopher, Xavier, and Coulter. Come up to the front. I need Ansley, Ella, Easton, Gracie, Laney, Ava B, Javen, Jocelyn, Ava, Brooke, and Ella with me back from please. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to circle this. Okay, I'm going to read. The story's about Bree. She's got all these beads. She's a necklace on it. Now she has 45 beads left. Oh look, 45 beads left. How many beads does Bree use to make the necklace? On the paper.
Gracie now.
You solve it however on the paper. Bree has 84 beads. Try to solve it on the paper. Remember, understand. So what do you know? You know what? You can do it. You can do it right on the bottom here. She has 84 beads. She uses some to make a necklace. We're just going to do how many beads does she use? Make sure I see lots of labels. Go ahead, Bree. Ari. Because I was looking at Bree. I want you to add some labels. So you can add beads.
So it's a two-step problem.
She uses some beads to make a necklace. She has 48 beads. She uses some to make a... Do we know the total?
Because I didn't make it.
Mrs. Konen did.
Yep, you can.
And plus, she used mine.
So what are we doing? What are we doing on our first part?
Bree has 84 beads.